All right, homies, we got back in biceps day today. It is a Tuesday, and I have been grinding in classes all day. Don't have a whole ton to say today, so it's mainly just going to be lift content, and then we're going to do a big car talk afterwards when I come up with more thoughts. But for now, I just want it to be a lot of grind today. So a lot of talking about the slowness I'm going to be doing, a lot of talking about isolating different parts of my body, and hoping the back pump can be super good. So let's get into it. Okay, of course, we got our starting out today. Pull-ups, pretty much same as always. Going for 9 reps of this, and really trying to control that descent more than anything. I got a little bit of food in my system, so it might make pull-ups a little bit more difficult, but I still trained them last week when I was at home, so my progress is still working well. So I'm gonna go ahead, set the exercise up on my watch, and then we will get into it. Okay, slowed on that one, definitely made it a lot harder, but still feeling good. Okay, about medium rest, and second set, I feel comfortable launching into it. I'm not really sure overall with this workout how this thicker shirt is really going to work out, but I've got shorts on, so probably, hopefully, not even probably, just hopefully I'll feel the coolness factor come in from that. But I think pull-ups are pretty straightforward. It'll just be the other stuff where I really got to lock in the most. Whew. Getting tired out on that one. Maybe pull-ups will be a problem. Reset. We got 3 more reps. Okay. Not full reps on those last ones. I think I need to grant myself a bit more of a rest period if I want to tackle those. Okay. Last set of pull-ups, I really want to focus on the output since I overestimated my abilities with it a little bit. I was stretching in between the first set though, so maybe that could have pulled back my intensity a little bit, but last set, I think the intensity will be good, the continuity and the reps will be good, as long as I really focus on setting up a good grip and honing my breathing and this good rest period that I just had. Okay, bad last two reps, but we're gonna move on and try to recuperate during lat pull downs. Okay, well, now it's on the biceps, so we're gonna go to a different part now, and 35 for 12 is what I've managed effectively rather recently, because I've still been honing that struggle of really strict reps. So I'm really wanting it to be continuous for 12, but there's not really a tell because there's not a whole lot of training backing it up. There's not a whole lot of sets I've done yet that really help supplement what I've been doing regarding 35s. Now 30s, I have a little bit of more control with that. But 35s, making sure everything's strict and good, it's not really the same. So these next 3 sets, I'm going to be gunning for 12. I'm not really sure how it'll go, but I have high hopes because I think I was able to do it last week, but I don't strictly remember when I was at the gym in my hometown. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, that was managed a little bit more effectively than I thought it would be. That's good. That's good progress. Okay. Second set with the newfound confidence of first set. I don't really have any reservations about what my progress will be like on second set. It'll just be about feeling the burn more than controlling the weight. Ooh, okay. The pump is starting to set in, but hopefully it'll fade some before we do preachers. All right. After a bit of water, bit of a light rest period, not too much thrown into this one. Gonna work into the last set so I can keep on moving along, make sure I get upstairs all right, make sure I manage the weight effectively up there. 12 more reps of this under control, and keeping along with the good progress I'm making. Two more, come on. One more. Ooh. Complete burnout. Let's run upstairs. Okay, now is where it really comes to moving mass. Working on 180 for 8 on chest supported rows. This is kind of the one part of the workout where we let the form go a little haywire. I mean, discounting pull-ups today, discounting where form goes awry, like on just certain things. Sometimes you just have a bad day. I think today was a bad pull-up day. Probably need to work on developing different warm-ups and stuff before my different days. It actually would help me out a lot, but just for now, now I don't have anything on really my upper body days. It's more lower body that I really get stretches in, but I'm meaning to develop a stretching routine that I can then showcase in a video to you guys. But yeah, lower body, I have my stretching down, and I can make a video on that soon, but upper body needs some work. Go ahead and set my microphone right here. I'm gonna really try to grind this out as much as possible, get as much pull and as much air as possible. Probably could do a little bit better with control, but first set's always the sloppiest. Okay, second set, I'm wanting to wrap my grip a little bit better this time because I feel like if I can get a better grip hold on this, I can maybe have a little bit more control. Of course, with 180 underneath me, two plates on either side, it's still a lot to pull, but the more I focus on my setup, the more sometimes I can move more weight. At least, that might not be in reality what it is, but subconsciously, maybe that helps out a little bit. Sometimes it's all a mental battle. Sometimes if you idealize doing more weight than you really think you can do, you surprise yourself. That's why you see those videos of people upping the weight without their gym bro knowing while they're on the machine, and they still rep that out because they think, oh, this is heavy today, but I'm just going to push past it. And they might rep out what they think is 130 when it's actually like 150. It's crazy sometimes how it works, but placebo effect is real, guys. Placebo effect is real. So it's hard to activate a placebo effect when you're working on your own, but that's why we hone this grip, and the placebo works for us. I don't know if that was placebo effect, but it certainly was more effective. I feel like maybe the warm-up with the second set and the establishing of like really holding on to that weight, it helped out a little bit. Okay, last set behind all these spring trees starting to pop up. It's actually really nice. It's actually really nice to see signs of spring, even though there's been cold snaps back and forth, hence why I'm wearing this heavier shirt today. But for the majority, the heat is coming back. The ability to see the seasons other than winter is coming back, because that's kind of what it feels like. Sometimes it feels like the winter can encompass everything, and the vibes of winter are sometimes off. Not really towards the beginning, not really towards the end, but that's true. Winter depression is a thing. Not to diss on any of you winter fanatics out there in the comments, but that is just kind of a thing. And so when you start to see warmer weather, it's cool to see people out, not the natural hermiting of the winter, because that's nice in the beginning of it. But when you spent a couple months shuttering yourself indoors, we're social creatures. It's not always a positive thing. It's not always a hype thing to always get yourself locked into the winter arc. It's meant to be an arc. It's meant to be a season. It's meant to be this small little part. You're meant to come out of it stronger, showcase yourself in the other seasons. So now it's time to showcase. Now you love to see it. Whew. A lot of pull on that one, but I'm liking it. Move on to another back thing, and then back downstairs for preachers and rear delt rows. How will I be able to handle that pull downs? How will I be able to handle it if my lats are already croaking from the work I put in on pull-ups? Well, that's just kind of the question now, isn't it? It's sometimes weird because, especially in the beginning of the workout, if you seem to falter on one part of the workout, but you still are working out a specific muscle group later in the workout, it can sometimes feel really daunting. It can sometimes feel like, wow, this is really gonna suck, because, if you're not feeling a lat, a shoulder, a chest on one certain day, trying to work that muscle out more, it seems a little counterintuitive, doesn't it? Well, you still need to work it. You still need to work it even if you're not feeling your best, even if you're not up to 100%, because I don't know what my output is going to look like on these today, but I'm still going to be going hard on them. I'm still going to be pushing as much as I can. It doesn't mean that I have to always reach the same amount of reps I always do. It means I can have a bad day now and then. But for this, I'm also not planning on having a bad time with this, because I didn't do great on pull-ups, which is partially back, which is a lot of lats, but this is all lat. This is all one part of your muscle. And I feel like if you do bad on one thing, there's also this huge benefit of, hey, I could bounce back on doing it again, just in a different format, just in a different part of the exercise, which is what I feel like is going to go on with these. But I can't talk my way out of them. I just got to prove it. Ooh, I just realized my math is off. I forgot to put the other plate on. See, look, you guys can't even see it, but look at that. 2 plates over there, 1 plate over here. That's no good. Okay, reset. Stop the yapping. Fully focus on the movement ahead of me. Okay, good work on that first set. Good work so far. We just need to grind it out for the next 2 reps. Okay, second set. I don't really know what else to say. I feel like I yap. Sometimes I yap too much at the beginning of lifts, but sometimes I just need to get things off my chest as much as possible, and then it just leaves the work to be shown. And I feel like there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty in talking about things, but then also the yang to the yin of showcasing everything. So let's showcase these last 2 sets. Okay, good effort, good work. Replicate that one more time and then call it. Okay, last set. One more set. I think this time I'll focus more on the holds. I'll focus more on the timing of pushing everything out of my lats before I work on my rear delts, because that'll be the last back part. And preachers will just be the bicep stuff. So let's focus on the negatives. Okay, Jesus, true failure. Negatives are absolute killer for my breath. I mean, my endurance is just quaking from that, and I can already feel the lats just boom, 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 boom. That's a good pump before biceps. Okay, well, the preacher curl machine is taken up, so now we're gonna try a different type of machine. It's almost like preachers. It's just I get a little bit less of a full extension, a full range of motion. But I still think it's gonna be pretty good. I have the same weight setup as kind of preacher curls, so we're gonna really gun out that slow decline, working for 12 reps with this. So let's see what we can do. Okay, good breathing on that one. Good stretch, I feel like. We'll check the camera, see how that went. All right, adjusted a little bit, but keeping the same weight moving forward. We got 12 more reps. I couldn't really tell how many reps it was last time, but I'm pretty sure we hit 12. I like the feeling on this, but because it's so strict, I feel like I almost can't necessarily contract certain muscles the full way that I do with preacher curls, but I don't know, maybe it's a range of motion thing, like if I fully feel it with a greater range of motion, but I still like the way my biceps are extended on this movement. It's a good machine so far, so 12 more reps, get a good grip on this, and just give it everything we have. Slow decline is killer. It's almost as killer as the slowed on the lats. Today will just be the slowed workout of sorts. I can still feel the huge lactic acid buildup with biceps, but I'm still gonna rock it. I'm still gonna rock the final 12 reps as best as possible. Might have to take some breaks just like before, but you know, one thing at a time, one thing after the next. I feel like the stretch on these, when you really, really hone in that slowed negative, actually could be even more beneficial on biceps, because you're not really focusing on the weight at that point. You're just really focusing on your technique. And when you hone technique on bicep curls, the hypertrophy and pump you get is just unmatched. So I want that unmatchedness. I want that full reps. Okay, we got four more. Focus on the slowness of these. One more. Man, scrappy, probably crappy reps, but oh my god, the bicep pump is unmatched. I can't even freaking feel it. They feel like rocks. Well, this latter part of the workout has been taken up by everyone. We got some people on dumbbell rear delt rows, so we're back at this machine again. It feels like this has become my new rear delt row. Is the machine version that's not dumbbell focused, but I mean it's pretty much the same, so I don't really have a problem switching to it every now and then, but I might need to adjust the seat a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's good. Alright, so for these, we normally do 65s for 10. This one, it was already nicely set at 130 for me. The combination of those two 65 dumbbells, so really it's just going to be all about the contraction on this one. All 10 reps, really slowly feeling out everything as much as possible. So let's see that in action. Alright, 10 full reps. Two more replications of that and then we'll be good. I forgot to tell you guys, the other day I had just a routine doctor's checkup. And it was actually hilarious because the doctor looked at me and he said, Miles, have you lost weight? And I was confused because, I mean, yeah, I had. You guys, if you go back, you can see my cut footage if you weren't actively watching the channel at that point. I lost a ton of weight, at least for my weight class, my weight category. But I wasn't really thinking about it at the doctor, so it caught me off guard. And he said, yeah, you were, the last time you came in, you were about 168 pounds. And now you've dropped like almost 10 pounds, a little over. Are you okay? He was basically wondering if I had a problem because he didn't know if I was intentionally losing weight. And then I had to explain to him, I went on a bulk and a cut because when I bulked, I got all the way up to 170, so it was almost prime bulking Miles that came into the doctors last year, which that was super cool. That's super cool when you have a little moment like that you aren't really expecting, It's not really something you fully expect for your doctor to be noticing your bulking and cutting when you're going in just for routine checkup type stuff, but hey, I mean, that's what it was, and that was really cool for someone totally not in my freaking hemisphere of life that often to be looking and be like, whoa, this is substantial, this is pretty crazy. So that was really awesome. But yeah, second set, same as before, chasing that feeling of building muscles that could even shock doctors. Three more. Good breathing. One more set, and then we're done. Well, my microphone's done their classic goof of once again dying mid-workout, but luckily it's again at the very end of the workout. Only one more set. I'll go ahead and do that, charge the mics, and then we'll cut into our cards. That's the end, homies. Time for a card talk. I feel like I might have a different perception of other people, of hard work maybe. Maybe I don't, but I know a lot of people, maybe I don't know them that deeply, but I feel like a large consensus of people argue for this idea that you only need negative reinforcement to grow. You only need someone yelling at you about how much harder you need to work. You only need yourself getting down as much as possible in order to grow. You only need, that you need one more rep. You're not good enough in your head to keep going. And I don't see it. I don't sympathize with that. The grindtality of only feeling like you're enough by pushing through limits with anger,
I don't know. I don't feel like that's the most optimal way to grow. What did I just drop? Oh, it's my AirPods. I feel like that's not what this world needs the most. I feel like the things that help you grow in the gym and in life, it's spurred on by positive reinforcement. Because if you're yelling at someone about how much they need to improve, about the gaps that are left in their performance, what does that leave you with? Now, I mean, argue with me if you think that I'm off base or crazy for that, because I genuinely like want to talk to you guys about it. I want to hear everyone's thoughts what of what that feels like in the comments. If you respond better to positive or negative reinforcement, but in my case, I don't see how the negative reinforcement really creates anything new, really creates anything valuable. Sometimes I have negative reinforcement when I say, oh, that wasn't a great set, or oh, I feel like I want to do a little bit better this time. But at the same time, it's not purely negative. It's not me yelling at myself that, hey, you still have all this room to grow because you can't get 9 full pull-ups. Hey, you have all this room to grow because why are your biceps shaking right now? I still feel value as a person and feel like I am doing my best and I'm pushing myself every day. I'm constantly improving. I'm not a shell of what I was before. I'm always learning. I'm always growing, and I feel proud of myself, most every day as I keep going. There's some days, when your self-esteem might fight back against itself, but I don't know. What does that change look like between the lifter that is hyping himself up versus the lifter that's pushing himself back down? But, the reality is it's not that black and white. It's not you have to do all of one thing or all of the other. It's a continual shift. It's a yin and yang of, oh, I really sucked. I should do better at that. But then, like, coming back around, doing a good set, saying, oh, I did good on this one, or surprising yourself and grinding out a bunch of extra reps, saying, oh, wow, I did really good that time. I need to keep that up, keep that pushing. Same thing I did with hammer curls. I don't know. It feels like striking the balance between that is so crucially important, because you don't want to leave yourself lagging behind others with this mentality of, I am not as good as others, or I am not as good as I want to be. Because if you are coming in every day just saying, I am not enough, then I think what that results in is a progress that's not as prominent as it could be. Because how are you going to make a difference and push yourself forward if you already start off feeling like, I'm not enough, so what's the point? Maybe that's just me. Maybe other people really strive off of that void that is, I am not good enough yet. And the hope pushes them forward. But I don't believe in that hope, maybe. I believe in that manifestation, that realization. I believe in the progress and the action, because the hope will help you. It'll push you forward, but it's more faith. It's more knowing that, hey, it's going to suck right now. Hey, it's going to suck for a couple weeks. Hey, it's going to suck for 3, 6 months, a whole year, multiple years. It's going to suck for this period. But at the end, I'll be out of it okay. It's knowing that you can strive in the struggle and not strive once you reach the goal. Because if you're working at something, I mean, think about me in college. I'm working at this thing for 4 entire years of my life. For one thing, one piece of paper, one end goal. At the very end of this stuff, I don't care about the piece of paper I get when I graduate. Employers don't care about me reaching the goal of graduating college. They look at every other day in college. That's what they're looking to hire me from. And that is where my value lies inherently. It's not hey, look at this piece of paper. But the piece of paper is meaningless without the 4 years in front of it, without the struggle, without the grind, without the action, the faith in knowing that hey, I'll make it out at the end. And the stick to itiveness enough of just being there, of showing up. The fact that you show up in and of itself is an action that is powerful. It's an action that should bring you value because hey, you were there. You showed up, you made that effort, and you don't have to make that effort the same every day. You don't have to stack and topple all your other efforts by going extremely hard one day or multiple days over the others. It's not about the individual thing. It's not about the piece of paper. It's not about the end of the day every day. It's about what makes it up. It's everything in between. And I feel like a lot of people might lose that if they're nose down, I'm not good enough yet. Because they're only focusing on this mythical good enough version of themselves. How could you be satisfied is my question. My question to that. Maybe that's the ultimate confusion that I have because I like the positive reinforcement. I like, okay, hey, I woke up today. That's good. Okay, let's push forward. All right, I did my morning routine. I brushed my teeth. I did my language learning. I did check the weather. I cleaned this stuff. I got my gym bag ready. Okay, that's good. Let's keep it going. And keeping that energy all throughout the day. That's positive reinforcement. That's good energy. That is pushing yourself to that new limit. And maybe that's lost with negative reinforcement because what action are you taking by beating yourself up? You're limiting yourself of the ceiling of saying, I'm not good enough. And you want to overcome that, but you're overcoming that through just pure strife. There's no enjoyment in there. There's no enjoyment of the process. There's no enjoyment of the grind. How are you going to get through a 4-year period of college, of lifting, of a relationship, of anything, if you're just getting down on yourself? Obviously, you're going to make mistakes, but you got to look at that in a glass half full kind of way because how would you overcome those mistakes if you just limit yourself by this mindset and this label of not good enough? I think not good enough is a horrible mindset because, yeah, in one respect, maybe in an outcome respect, you might get something greater, but did you enjoy that process? Was it fun being in that negative mindset? I don't know. I don't think it could be, but let's hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, if I feel like I'm not, if I'm just yapping out of nothing today. But yeah, let me hear it. I don't know. I'm feeling conflicted emotionally and spiritually in that way of sorts. So I'm interested in it. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.